Hello, my name is Alan Sweeney, and I'm a citizen of the United States. I am making this video because I, like many of you, are concerned about the outcome of the presidential election on November 4th. Recently, I wrote a letter via email to many of my friends expressing my concerns. Because I am not a public speaker, I would like to read that letter to you in hopes that you will pass it on to many of your friends, and on and on. Here is what I wrote. The issue on my mind tonight is the controversy over Barack Obama's past associations. A major defense that he makes against the accusations is that those associations pose no threat to any future decisions he may make as president. That William Ayers, Louis Farrakhan, Reverend Wright, the Acorn Group, and other lesser but undermining personalities will have no input into his decision-making process, unless, of course, he appoints them to positions in his administration. You know what? I believe him. But here's the problem, from a psychological and sociological standpoint. First, use someone you know best, yourself, as an example to understand the point that I will make. I think you will agree that we form our relationships pretty much for the satisfaction of basic human needs, including food, shelter, love, understanding, safety, and life itself. We are drawn to such relationships to satisfy those needs, and that any relationship that hinders the attainment of those needs is soon rejected. If every time you went to the grocery store and had an argument with the grocer, for whatever reason, you would soon find another place to patronize. In other words, it's not in your psyche to become anxious or threatened or unloved or misunderstood. It is largely a basic human psychological need to have these needs satisfied, not unattained. So we enter into the societal relationships that satisfy our needs. At some point, pure psychology is supplemented by environmental experiences and human relationships. You generally don't marry someone, at least you hope, who is going to give you grief or not support you and defend you against bad things. We join a PTA because it helps our need to nurture children. We stay in a military organization, maybe a lot from patriotism, but also a lot from the need to be involved with a stable supporting group with common goals. We plan a sports team much for the same reason. We are Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts. Beyond those basic human psychological needs is a need to be accepted. So, eventually, once we have matured, usually around the time of college graduation, and our mindset is pretty much set for life, the relationships we choose will reflect what we have become more than what others will make of us. All of these associations provide positive feedback towards the attainment of our needs or the avoidance of conflict with our mature self. Now, like us, Barack Obama has chosen the relationships he has determined will satisfy his needs. It is not proven that those relationships have chosen him, although I propose that at least they support and solidify the self that he has become. At the end of this video, I will pull up a link to a website. It describes the relationships that Barack Obama has entered into. These relationships are not the Boy Scouts, or the PTA, or the ACLU, or the Peace Corps. They are hate-mongering, anti-American, divisive, and generally unpatriotic. These are the personalities and organizations that satisfy Barack Obama's needs. He is comfortable, safe, and understood by them. They attend to his nature. Thus, to my point, they are what he is. It really is his associations that count. We just need to look at it from his perspective, not from theirs. Now, before you reject my argument out of hand, I hope you would courageously suspend judgment until after viewing the supporting web video documentation. I ask especially those of you who are still considering a vote for Barack Obama and his wife, another association who is just now proud to be an American, to view the video and ask yourself, do I really know this man? Does this create some doubt in my mind about who he is? To me, the nature of those associations speaks to the nature of Barack Obama himself. If you can find fault or inaccuracies within the report, fine. But there is no question that the weight of the evidence, and it doesn't take a court of law to decide, that Barack Obama continually associated with them. It does not matter that he has now disassociated himself with them. He remains who he was when he picked them. From a psychological and sociological way, this is a dangerous man to have a finger on the nuclear button. Consider also who he may choose to be on his cabinet or in his administration. If he were to apply for a top-secret security clearance in any position in government, he would be rejected at the first step because of his association with such organizations, as would you. Think about it, and if necessary, reconsider your vote in November. There is still huge doubt abounding, and you should have no doubt about it. Here is the website. Please pass it on. It is http://www.eydeo.aspx?VID=2036. Thank you very much.